Hi guys, my name is Deborah. I'm coming to you from the rainy country of Belgium. I am a fiber artist. I crochet, knit, I sew, I craft basically. And today I'm gonna show you everything I made in 2024. And 2024 started out with my very first knit finished object, which is this beautiful pink vest or slipover. I knitted this with essential mega wool, chunky, and I held it double with a mohair from the Veritas, which is like a big craft store here in Belgium. I made this vest using a YouTube tutorial by Sue Sam. She's Sue Sam on YouTube and Stitched by Sam on Instagram. Amazing tutorial. Did I make a gauge swatch? No, I didn't. But luckily we were kind of the same size. I think she says that she casted on 76 stitches for the bottom. Because this is worked flat. So you make your front panel, you make your back panel, you mattress stitch the seams here on the side and on the top, and then you start with, I think I started with the collar and then I did the ribbing for the arms to finish this vest. So she said that you had to cast on 76 stitches. I cast on 72 based on what vibes. I never knitted something before, really. Like my mom tried to teach me garter stitch like almost 20 years ago. I gave up. Tried again multiple times, but I kept giving up. So I was just, looked up a tutorial how to do a long tail cast on. Struggled first because my first attempt at this vest was in December 2023 and I just couldn't figure it out. Then I picked it up again, I think a month later, and then it clicked. And then I worked it up super fast. I wear it all the time. I love it. I love that I chose the color pink to get like out of my comfort zone because I love to wear like black, gray, white, and like brown to olive colors. And I promised myself I was gonna try some colors. If I did knitting, like I was gonna do something special, but like literally just follow the tutorial. I learned how to do one by one ribbing, casting on, casting off, knitting together, decreasing. That's all of the stuff I learned by doing this. And literally I still go back to that tutorial for things I want to do, like because it fits me so well. I use it basically to do almost everything. So free tutorial, YouTube, like literally perfect. So I bought another super cool variegated yarn and I made a second vest. Guys, I made so many vests. I was obsessed. I made a lot of them. So I made this vest and I bought this beautiful yarn, self-striping yarn. Rico Designs Creative Melange Chunky in the number 073. Beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. I also bought it during the sales period. So I didn't have enough, like I didn't have enough left for the back. So I self-drafted an open back. Was I supposed to do this already at my second like knitted project trying to do an open back? No, like that was crazy, but I did it. And I'm really proud of myself. Like that's actually crazy. Now I think about it, like I had to do a lot of calculating and stuff and had to do increases. I had never done that before. But all the rest was basically the same as the slipover I did before. The figuring out the back and how to do these increases and then reconnect this together and knit it back up, that was yeah, that was a lot of work, but I figured it out. So it's like kind of following a tutorial and kind of self-drafted. I don't wear this as much as I would want to because it's really cool. Like it is cool to have like such an open back, but I don't know. And also the back kind of droops down. So I think I saw a YouTube short about someone who had, like, she was making an off-shoulder sweater and it was way too big. And she just added an elastic, like she crocheted in, and that made it way better. So I think I'm also gonna do that. And it was really fun to knit. Made me feel like I was just like really good at it. Like I was working on it and I was like, whoa, like I can do everything. It's insane. Then I also kind of promised myself like every time I work on something, I want to learn something new. And I was seeing a lot of like color work stuff, but I was too afraid to do like intarsia. There's also duplicate stitch. So I was like, okay, let me do duplicate stitch. And I am a power lifter, which just basically means I like to lift heavy weights. And in the power lift slash gym community, girls that lift heavy weights are called muscle mommies. So that's why I made this. It's another slipover because I just loved, like, this just goes so fast. You make a front panel, you make a back panel, you seam them together, mattress stitch. I did change the ribbing. I did a 2x2 rib because I was like, girl, we need to change it up. But then it was definitely for the duplicate stitching that I made this. So I put the words Muscle Mommy in Word, and then I chose a font that I liked, uploaded that font to Stitch Fiddle, guys. If you want to do color work, Stitch Fiddle, free option, because there's also a premium option. Never used it in my life, but free option. You can just upload it, an image or like something you made yourself into Stitch Fiddle, and it would turn it into a grid. It will turn it into a grid. So don't break your brain. I saw some people like using Excel to do like I'm like, what? That's really cool, but Stitch Fiddle exists. Just do that. Just upload it into Stitch Fiddle and you'll be able to just figure out where you need to put your stitches to make this super cool thing. I don't wear it a lot. I also haven't woven in any of the ends yet. I really should. This is like unprofessional. I can't even like officially. Tell me in the comments, does this count as a finished object? I haven't woven in the ends. Does this count? Please. I will one day. I don't know when. Then the next two, I don't know what the right order is, but I'm gonna do this one probably, I think, is the next one. Is I was on Instagram scrolling, and I saw, like, she made a beautiful slipover with like a V-neck, and it was a little oversized, and it was so pretty. Like, I just saw it and I was like, I want that. And I made it. It looks pretty similar, but it's too big. It's a little too big. I still wear it. I wear this a lot for the fact that it's too big. I really wear it a lot because I love it. Even though it's too big for me, I love wearing it. It's so pretty. I love the V-neck. It was really hard. The V-neck to get it up, the V part of the V-neck, literally, to get the braid in the middle. Bro, I don't know what's up, but my brain just cannot. There's another slipover I'm going to show you guys where I just failed. I gave up. I did it another way. But I looked at the tutorial and it's so complicated because you have to pick up a certain amount of stitches and then you have to do some like, I couldn't even tell you how to really do this, honestly. But this is the first and only time I did a good job at doing that V-neck technique. But I don't know, I just love this design. Like she ate. She also go follow her. She makes really pretty, like her knits look really pretty and funky. I feel like this might be a hot take, but in the knitting community, oh, it's like someone makes really pretty and like pristine and like classic knits, or something. Someone makes really funky knits, but to me, she makes like funky and pristine knits. This was a random tangent, but go follow her. She makes really cool stuff. Then I was really intrigued by cables, but they look so difficult. Like when you look at them, you're like, what? Because I obviously at this point I understood knits purl. They gave you the little V's, and this is what you gotta do to make a ribbing, and this is what you cast off, this is what you cast on, yada yada yada. But the girlies kept talking about knitting in around and cables. I think I was influenced by Made in a Moment, and then they cast it on like the Lime cable project, and I was like, oh my god, okay, it's fine. I'll do cables. I'll figure it out. And I found a tutorial on YouTube. Again, everything I made is self-drafted or a tutorial on YouTube. I haven't bought a pattern yet. We'll talk about my fear of written patterns at the end of the video. So I found a tutorial on YouTube. I'll link everything below. Everything I used for my first year of like knitting and crafting and everything, I'll put it down below. It's a 2-part cable vest pattern by Safa. Wait, let me just show it to you first before I start speaking about it. Look! It's so pretty. Like, this is like one of the things I'm the most proud of. Like, it's crazy. Look at the details, like, amazing. So the yarn I used is from, is from Zeeman. It's a tweed yarn, and it looks so pretty. It gives such a like a rustic feel, and I just love it. And so as I was saying, like I knit this in the round without knowing. Don't ask me how that happened. And then you have to split for the arms, obviously. You also then, when you work on a front panel, split for the sleeve, decrease as well. And then like you keep making the cables, of course, but it's so pretty. It's a 2x2 rib for the arms and the neckline. I cheated this v-neck. This isn't the official way you're supposed to make a v-neck, but I don't care. I love it. It's also still stretchy when I put my head through it, like it's fine. So, but this is, yeah, my pride and joy. Very, very proud of this. Very, yeah, I felt like, wow, I'm officially a real knitter. So the next thing I made, mom, that was for my mom's birthday. My mom's birthday is, let's just say, it's been a few months since it was my mom's birthday. I made her this striped vest. It's pretty simple, literally. I'm not gonna keep talking about the way, yeah, I knitted this in the round the body because now I learned how to knit in the round and it's faster than making 2 panels. I cheated the v-neck, which that's why it's still here, is because I couldn't figure out how to do the v-neck with the braid in the middle. So it's hard to get my head into this vest. I'm gonna unravel the neck and retry it just when I'm less frustrated, so I can finally gift it to her. So she also has her freaking birthday gift. I'm not proud of myself for that one, but I really like the colors. And this yarn, I really like it. I've used it for a few, projects already. It's like this chunky Julia yarn from the Zeeman. It's made out of 80% polyester and 20% wool. And I don't know, I like how it feels. I like the weight of it. Go to Zeeman, guys. And I also just really wanted to play with using 2 different colors for the first time when I made this vest. So you see, like every time something new is added to my like roster of skills. So I made a knitted top which actually, like, I am on the fence about it. I can't hold it well. This is like super cool yarn I bought on sale. It's also at the Variegated, but I do not remember the name of this yarn. But it has like varying thickness and it's like super cool. But I really like the vibe of this, so I made a top out of it. I kind of wanted to make a t-shirt out of it, I think. I don't really remember, but then I finished this and I was like, wait, this kind of looks really cool and I can just leave it like this. But I haven't worn it yet. But also, I finished this top at a time where it wasn't warm enough to like wear this. So, yeah, I should wear this top. It's really cool. I don't know why I don't. Then my first sweater. I only have 2 sweaters. I really want to get into making more sweaters because it's fun. And I also just don't have a lot of sweaters in my wardrobe. So, yeah. Look! My first sweater, very big sleeves. Very, very big sleeves. It's cropped, of course. I feel like everything that isn't cropped looks really weird on me because I have a short torso. I'm very short. I'm 5'2", I think. So everything that's, I don't know, a little longer to me makes me look weird. I just think that it makes me look weird. So I like when things are cropped on me. So I cropped the body part of the sweater. And then, yeah, I have these big balloon sleeves. And then I also have this fold over neckline, which is like first time I did a fold over neckline, first time I made a raglan knit sweater, first time I made a sweater in general. So it was a lot of firsts. I followed multiple tutorials to make this to increase the raglan. I followed like a reel made by Weave-It-In Crocheting and Knitting Platform. They have like a short about how to knit a raglan stitch and how to increase it. That's how I did, because the tutorial I started to follow to make the raglan, I thought it just didn't have a good looking increase. So I just did an increase that I thought looked better and that was less holy, because hers had like a lot of holes on the side and I just didn't like that. I didn't want it. I wanted to look pretty dense. So I literally only followed her tutorial, how many, like, what you should start on your neckline to start your raglan, and how you should split up the body. That's what I followed. And that was another YouTube video, Cherilyn Q, because she explained the numbers and the counting and the splitting of it really well, but I just didn't like the holes and increases on the arm. You get what I'm trying to say? But this still, I think it's a good tutorial in explaining like how much you should divide the stitches for your arms and your neck and how you should count everything. So that was really interesting. But I was just like, I started it and then I was like, okay, thanks, bye. This is what I need for an increase, and I combined both of them to make this. Now for the arm, I didn't know you could decrease to make your arm look less balloony. I don't hate it, but now that I know more, I'm like, this is like a big balloony sleeve. And then I like skipped some, like I didn't decrease in the arm, I just skipped some stitches to make sure that the sleeve, like at the end, is like small. It was he's a little bit of a mess, but I learned how to do a fold over collar. And I just made my first sweater, so I was really excited. And it's so cute. Again, it's with this chunky Julia yarn from the Zeeman in like a rustic red no, a rustic brown and like a beige color. But I'm super proud of it. I don't really wear it that much. Again, I should. This is my, yeah, I'm obsessed with this sweater. I unraveled something else I made this year, like a finished object, because I didn't have enough yarn to finish this sweater, but I had such a vision for it that I was like, I'm gonna unravel it. Like I'm gonna get more wear and joy out of this. So this sweater that I'm making now than the other shrug I made with it. So we're gonna do it. Even my boyfriend was like, don't do it. It's such a pretty one. And I was like, no, I want to make this sweater. Everything, like, I love it so much. Look at the color. It's so vibrant. Look at it. It's crazy. Like, oh my God. It's so vibrant. It's so heavy. It's so warm. Look at the arms. Look at the decreases. Bro. The only thing that's like, it's the cuffs. I could have done a better job at doing the cuffs. But like, I hit this down. The collar is like stretchy. I did like a good job of this folded collar. Like, I blocked this. This is the only thing I've blocked that I made. No, I blocked two things. This is like the first thing I ever blocked in my life. Look at the fabric it created, how it falls down. This is, I wouldn't, is it my masterpiece? I think it's my, no, it's not my masterpiece. It's not my masterpiece, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm just like proud of like how I did it and how it looks. Like it's just, you saw it, like what? It's so pretty and it's so simple. This made me kind of realize, because I always wanted to make something, not that my knits are super funky, but they're like a little different. And this made me feel like, oh, I kind of want to brush up on my basics and make some like really cool, like cool colored basics before I just like, I want to make this and this and I want to freehand knit. And you know, you're like distracted by these very cool things, but you don't even have the basics. And by you, I mean me. I don't even have the basics. So no, it looks so good. I played a little bit of yarn chicken, not gonna lie, because I can't tell you anything about this yarn because I bought it. It was one huge bowl of yarn, like this whole thing plus this whole sweater. It was like €4, which is crazy, crazy, because this is like if I remember correctly, a wool cotton blend with probably a little bit of polyacryl, but with a little bit of acrylic in there, but not a lot. And I also held it double with mohair, again, Variegated. Yeah, so I did work bottom up in 2 panels. I seamed the sides and I seamed the shoulder seam. Then I think I did the fold over collar with like a looser connection, because the fold over seam in the first sweater I made was pretty tight. And now I learned a looser way to stitch them together. I'll post the tutorial I followed in the description. And then I did the sleeves in the round, and then I decreased at like a pretty steady pace to create this sweater. And it's pretty short, and pretty cropped because I just didn't have enough yarn to make it a longer run, but it's fine. Like in the beginning I was like, oh, it's really cropped, but it's fine. I like it. I love it, especially the color. It's so pretty. And yeah. So it was $4, but the mohair was expensive. Mohair is really expensive, guys. God damn. But yeah, I'm obsessed. So that's everything I knitted, like everything wearable that I knitted for myself this year, which is like a hefty amount. Like, I don't know, sometimes I look at the amount I've knitted and I'm like, ugh, it's not that much. And then I look at it again and I'm like, wait, it is a lot. Don't compare yourself to the people you see on the internet. Also, don't compare yourself to me. please. So that's everything I knitted. Now I'll show you everything I crocheted. So, in my fiber arts journey, I first fell in love with crocheting. I randomly, like 2 years ago, made a sweat. Not even 2 years ago. I think 3 years ago, made like a sweater in like a hyperfixation attack. It's not good. Like it doesn't look good, but I just made it and I finished it, and then I just needed to get through that to like get on with my life. I was really like obsessed with it. And then when I was looking for a job and bored, I fell in love with crochet again, and I made this houndstooth vest, which I never wear because it's too long. It's made no shade to acrylic yarn, but this acrylic yarn specifically I don't like for wearables. I think it could be good for like decoration in your house, like that's fine. But for wearables, I'm just like, no. I made this vest, and there's a lot of things wrong with it. I followed the tutorial, but to be honest, there's something off about the tutorial. There's something off because when you look at it, the V's don't add up, and it's like, yeah. My V is crooked, and it's just it doesn't make sense. I just really wanted to finish it, and I really wanted it to be done in a good professional way. I never wear it. I keep it just because even though this is not pretty, and I don't, even though I think it's not pretty and I don't wear it, I'm still proud of like the fact that I made it. So it kind of feels more like an art piece or something like this is where you started off type of thing. I also don't think I made this in 2024. I think I made it at the end of 2023. So this doesn't even count. But I just wanted to show it as like you don't start off as being like perfect at your new hobby, and that's fine. Like it's okay. You don't have to like start off and be like, oh my god, I'm making like this huge sweater, or I'm making like 50 billion things, and they like it's fine. It's fine that it's a little crooked. You're figuring it out. The ribbing is a little like off, and the counting doesn't like make sense. It's okay. You're like figuring it out. It's a hobby. You're not gonna be good at it from the start. But yeah, that's I think why I keep it. I never wear this, literally. So that's that. Then I made this crochet sweater, and this yarn is absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm gonna redo the rimming of the collar because it's so like weirdly folded. But the story about this is also I followed a tutorial. So it's a YouTube tutorial by Lardria Lave. In the tutorial, when you do your first chain, she explains how big you need to make it for your size. And I would think I was a size larger, whatever, but I adapted it because there's a lot of adapting you can make when you make a raglan sweater or vest. So I don't remember exactly how I adapted it, but I adapted it to my taste. And I found this beautiful yarn in the Zeeman again, but I didn't have enough of it, so I bought like a bunch of other color yarns that add in between the yarn that I bought because I couldn't buy any other, and you can't even see it. Where is the ball of yarn? You can't see it. So I'm honestly kind of proud of this one, even though I don't wear this at all. I wore this at New Year's last year, and I was very like, oh my god, I made this. Guys, I made this, but this looks handmade. So that's fair enough. But it's also pretty cool, so I'm proud of myself. If someone wants, it's pretty cool, but I don't wear it. So if someone wants to buy this, it's like, go off. Like, send me a DM. Because I don't wear it, but I love it and it's cool. It's just like not my style. And then I was in a shrug moment. In total I made 3 shrugs, but I unraveled another shrug to make that red sweater that I showed you guys before. But like these are basically two of the same shrugs. I just made it twice, and one is a little longer. This one is a little longer. But there are 50 billion tutorials on YouTube on how to make shrugs. I'll link the one I used down below. But it's really easy, and it's pretty fun. Like it turns your outfit into something really, really cool and interesting texture-wise immediately when you make it. And it's really quick, like it's a quick whip, like you're done in like, I don't know, I think I worked on this for like on and off, I don't know, 4 days maybe, and not like full 4 days, just like 4 days while doing other stuff as well. So yeah, this was pretty chill. This is like pretty beginner friendly project. And last crochet project I made in the summer, I was kind of in a knitting rut, which makes sense. Like I would literally touch my knitting project and be like, ugh, it's too hot to knit. So I got into a crochet like vibe, and more specifically a bikini crochet vibe. So I made a bunch of like bikini crochet tops. I made this top with like the scalloped edge. There's a tutorial, I'll post a tutorial because I just followed that one tutorial for every other make. So there's like this cute bikini top I made. Like the texture is so pretty, and it's really supportive because it's 100% cotton. Then I made this bikini, and I made two to go on vacation. And did I bring them on vacation? No, because I forgot them. So on vacation, we went to Zeeman and I bought yarn. That's why it's not woven in, because I was really lazy. I was on vacation. I bought yarn, and when we went to the beach, I wore this bikini that I made on vacation. It looks like a mess. But it's the Rico yarn, I think. I have a bunch of it because I wanted to make a granny square vest before, but then I gave up because all the like the idea of making granny squares is like, oh my god, I'll make a bunch of granny squares, and then you make them and you're like, this is too much, like every time. So I just have a bunch of Rico yarn here that's 100% cotton, but it's really strong and really nice. So that was like a random moment where I was just making a bunch of bikinis to wear on vacation, and I only wore the one I made on vacation. So that was nice. Then I also have one sewed project, like one finished, because I started a bunch of sewing projects this year, but haven't finished them. So maybe in 2025 I'll finish these projects because they're pretty cool. I just didn't finish it. I hope you can see it, but it's this like quilted fabric on one side, and then I put some other like wool fabric on the inside to keep you warm, and some like bows, of course, because I'm a coquette girl. You know I'm not, but I really like the bows. Yeah, I made this following I didn't make the pattern for this. Like I followed a pattern from this, what is it, the brand called again? Fiber Mood. Wow. So I followed the Fiber Mood pattern, and I kind of wanted to make a reversible vest, but then I was like, I'm too lazy. I'm not gonna make it reversible. I'm just gonna make it like this. And then I wanted to make it again, and I was like, no, I don't want to make it again. But this was a pretty quick one-day project. It has pockets with little bows in them. No, I just thought I was gonna use these bows, but it's too thick. Don't really like it, so I bought this. I'm gonna cut it off because it's like disheveled a little bit, but I also really like this little project I made. And that kind of rounds up everything I made this year. Whoa, no, I forgot one accessory. What the hell? It's like my favorite thing. this huge hat, this huge bucket hat. I don't know. I really felt I saw this fabric. I went to the fabric store. I saw this fabric, and I was like, I really want to make a bucket hat. I really want to make a fluffy bucket hat, and I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to make too much for it. So I made this fluffy bucket hat. Also a sewing project I made this year. So yeah, and you can also like flip it up, and then it turns into this hat. Like it's so cute. I love it so much. This I also wear a lot. Surprisingly, this is like out there, but I really wear it a lot, so that's really fun. Yeah. And the last pattern of the year, which I can't even I don't know if I can call it a finished object because I blocked it and it's way too big, but I did work on it this year and I did finish knitting it this year. It's a sweater I made for my boyfriend. It's a Stefan sweater from Drop Design. I used Drop Charisma in a bunch of different colors to make it, and it was a lot of work. I worked 2 weeks and a half straight up on this sweater, like straight up 2 weeks and a half. Wake up, knit, 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 like go to sleep. Some days were more productive than others, but like it was really like a lot of work. And I didn't do a gauge swatch. Yep, this is crazy. At the end of the year, I was just like freestyle, like I just like, oh, let me just start on a project instead of like doing a gauge swatch on this. And the sweater was already looking pretty big unblocked. It's also it's a superwash merino, and I've heard people say on the internet that superwash merinos expand a lot, which I didn't know. And yeah, we blocked it at his place, and he was like, "Yeah, this sweater is huge, so we're gonna try." And guys, please, this is me calling all the knitters. Help! Is it possible to shrink a sweater? Tell me, please. Is it? Because I already told him I'll make another one. It's fine. If this doesn't work, like it's my fault. I should have made it. Gosh, what? Like it's stupid of me, irresponsible of me of doing that. But yeah, that's my magnum opus work. Like I put so much time in it, and it kind of sucks, but it's fine. Like I'm kind of at this point, I'm like, okay, it sucks, but like I just want to know, is it possible? Do you guys? I've seen some tutorials, but they're kind of vague because I don't want it to felt. I just want it to shrink. So if you guys can help me, that would be really nice. I'll post some pictures of like the progress of the sweater and where I was at. So it's like an honorable mention, but it would be nice if you guys could help me. But yeah, that's everything I made in 2024. 2024 was a really weird year for me. It still is. It's probably going to bleed into 2025, which isn't amazing. But I was like scrolling on the internet looking for some motivation, and there's this one guy who was like, your situation might feel bad, but like it's all about perspective, and objectively it hasn't been a great year for me. But when I see all of the progress I made in my fiber arts journey and how cool it is that I'm able to make this by hand. I've been sewing for a long time, and I was proud of the things I made. I've made really, really cool things. Like I'm not gonna discredit my past self, but I don't know, there's something about knitting and crocheting and literally making the fabric of what you're gonna make that's so, like every stitch is you. Like you put the work into that. And that's really nice. That's really rewarding and very, yeah, I don't know, very fun. um, and when I think about what I'm going to make in 2025, I'm like excited to develop my craft and make mistakes. And because there's a bunch of things I worked on that I've unraveled, that I have like a pile of unfinished or like things I know I'm never going to finish project, and I learned so much from them. That makes me feel excited for the next year and all the things I'm gonna make and mistakes I'm gonna make and finished objects and then whips and everything and just learning more, and it's really cool. Also, like, I really made this video just because I want to connect with other people in the craft community online and talk about all of this, because I don't have people in my life that want to talk this much about knitting and crafting and fiber arts. So it would be really cool to have like a little community online and find fellow makers and yeah, just connect in that way. And also, if you guys have some like pattern ideas, because I'm looking online for like a lot of inspiration for the next year, but if you guys have some recommendations, it would be really cool. Because I just dipped my toe into reading patterns. I'm using the website Drop Design because they have a lot of explanation, a lot of videos. Like, I'm a very visual learner, so it's very nice to have that as an option, but I'm a little scared to just straight up like a written pattern, like dry, let's go it. So if you have some recommendations, I'm very open to hear it. And also recommendations for YouTube videos. I am excited and hyped, and yeah, you know? But yeah, that's the first video. You can hit me up on my social media. I have a Pinterest and Instagram. And see you in the next one. Bye.